You figured it out. Like, you figured out how to turn these bricky hands into these full power output that outputs even an even stronger board, which is pretty insane. And, hey guys, it's Tom Box. Welcome to MST.TV, and today I have a very special guest with me here today. He's a YCS champ, the last UDS champion. Some of you guys may refer to him as the Dragon God. Everyone give a thumbs up button to Shunping Xu.
Oh, what's up, everyone?
So it's a pleasure to have you here, and in this video we're going to be breaking down your recent top 8 deck. This is a deck that you've been known for some time now. It's of course Dragon Links.
It's been like 3-4 months already.
Yes, and I was surprised because you jumped from Eldritch back to this. Any thoughts on that?
I played Eldritch just for fun, to be honest, because like if I'm playing dragons, it's like the entire time, it also could feel kind of boring.
But you definitely a person that actually put dragons on the map before it was even a thing. So that actually is a very, very big accomplishment, because most people thought dragons weren't going to be as good. You know, this is like many months back. And now it's like, it's always going to be on people's radars thanks to you. And you're also the reason why, like, Black Metal Dragon spiked up, like Safer spiked up, Striker Dragon spiked up. Like, a lot of these guys, you know, you are the one that grandfathered all of this stuff in, which is really, really impressive. So this deck profile looks a little bit different, guys, because I sorted out everything here by the core of how they work rather than going monster spells and traps, so you guys get to see it all right away. I will move some stuff around. We have the extra deck right here. And on top of going over this deck profile, or quote-unquote deck profile, we're also going to ask a couple of questions. A lot of people ask these types of questions in the comment section, and I'm hoping that you're going to be able to provide us with some answers. And on top of that, we'll get into some combo. We'll demonstrate some combos, like the basic concept of the combo, of where you're trying to get to. And then we'll do something a little bit extra, which is something that is... what do you play through like Roach Dragon? What if your opponent gives you something? You know, knowing how to combo a deck isn't like the end all, because a lot of people can memorize, but knowing what you can do beyond the memorization is what makes a good player. First off, do you have any shoutouts you want to give? I want to give the shoutout spotlight first, because a lot of people kind of skip it at the end. So please.
So although I am the one who like topped or even won with the deck, I don't want to like take the entire credit on myself, because like originally I wasn't the one came up with the idea of the deck. The original combo wasn't even made by me. I have like a group of friends, like all of us are Chinese people in like different foreign countries. So we just have like a small group. We're just talking about random things about other people doing the same thing for the format, for competitive plays. And it just like back then in like February, when the Banless killed everything, then I start to try other things. But when I just failed everything, I go back to the group and they send me like the basic combo. So I end with just grabbing their list and optimize it. Then I won afterwards. We know what happened after that. So big shout out to those friends, those like Chinese friends. Very appreciate for them for giving me like the opportunity way back in the beginning.
Wow, this is really awesome. Thank you guys for actually bringing the dragons to the forefront. You have your own little dragon group. Okay, and I need to give a couple shout outs to a couple of my friends, because they actually helped me collect all of this stuff. Yes, Nishi, Tyler, Jesse, Paul, all of you guys. Okay, so I guess with the shout outs out of the way, why don't I start off with the current deck profile here, which is each of these separate cores that we have available. And okay, starting off with the top left corner here. The top left corner, we have the Safer, basically the Chaos Dragon core with the Chaos Space. So these 8 cards here constitute what part of the deck? Like, what are we trying to achieve with the opening play?
So Safer, I think, is still just like the best normal summon starter. It used to be like the best starter in my opinion in the deck. However, that's like before Chaos Space. Now it's 100% just Chaos Space. It's like a Safer, but even better. Well, Safer is already good enough to be the best one.
Okay, so that would be the first core. Second core here would be the Rocket core. Would you even consider this as a Rocket deck, or is this just Dragon Link?
like before, for what I played in like February, March, and April, those were like rocket decks.
Yeah.
Now it's not. It's a Dragon Link deck.
It's a Dragon Link deck with a rocket core.
It was a rocket core, just because a Tracer is like one of the most accessible tuner and level 4 dragon in the deck. That is so much value for it. Also, quick launch is just such a crazy card. It's teleport without once per turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So why just one rocket recharger? Like, what if you don't have the ability to spam out a rocket effect?
So you still want one level 4 or at least one level 4 non-tracer rocket to summon with Tracer, so Tracer itself can still provide a Savage.
Okay.
If any of the combo just doesn't go through. And Recharger just being the best like rocket if there's like a very low amount of rocket. Because Recharger plus Striker Dragon, that combo can still revive any dark monster in your graveyard.
Okay. The next core is actually a really tiny core, which would be the Dragon Maid core. A lot of people have suggested the Dragon Maid cores because of Chamber Dragon Maid and Hospitality. And this is essentially a 2-in-1 monster right here.
Yeah. So you could play like 3 and 1 to like increase the chance of drawing it. I just somehow only have 3 spots left in the deck when I put everything together. So I'm choosing a 2-1 ratio for the deck.
Oh, so this is like
I can go to 61, right?
That's true. So then now we have one more core here. Actually, there's actually 3 cores left. This deck is actually mashed up with a bunch of cores. We have the normal dragon cores.
Normal dragon, the unexpected die core.
The die core.
Yeah. So die core is there because before I get to the die core, I was trying to find like a sub engine to provide either more dragons going to Romulus or more tuners going to Needle Fiber.
And they both provide that.
Yeah, it's like you were choosing to play like the 10E level 1 or the Mado Chain for the rock deck. It's like very similar logic here.
Okay.
However, then after there's also more things I can choose. I thought about the Drake Connect plus the Serpent. That's a fiber play, or even a bigger like a 10-card dinosaur engine where you can like Fossil Dig can get you everything. Overraptor normal summon, you can either just miscellaneous or you dump like Carbonadon to summon vanilla.
Wouldn't that conflict with like the amount of normal summons that you were already kind of going for already?
Yeah, but you only play like one Oviraptor because there's still like 3 Fossil Dig. So technically you have 4, but you only need one normal summon here. Okay. And if you only draw Fossil Dig, you already have a normal summon. You can always Fossil Dig for miscellaneous for the Jirak.
Okay, no, that
actually doesn't really cost that many normal summons, to be honest.
Okay.
The downside for those engines, I end with is like those engines only commit yourself so much to one route. And by doing that, like imagine you're doing the Dino engine and your opponent just impermanent the fiber. Since all the dinosaurs, they're not dragons, so you can't. It's very hard to recover after that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Die engine just become the one that can provide both routes open for me because they summon a dragon tuner for me.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
Like if I'm low on dragons, then whatever someone died, just gonna go into a material for Romulus. If I'm like having a lot of monsters, like I open die with Saphers, things like those, I can just always leave the normal monster as a material for fiber later. If Rom I just do Rom things. If Rom go through, I have like double field spell in hand. So when I'm making fiber and even fiber got stopped at that point, my double field spell will still guarantee me Tracer. That's like at least a Savage.
No, that's still really, really powerful. Like I know that if you get disrupted, if you can still finish with Savage, maybe Savage with another card, you probably won't die the next turn, and you might even take the entire game afterwards.
Yeah, it's very possible.
And then our last 2 actual cores, we have the Red Eyes Darkness Metal core, and we also have the Rose Dragon core, which I think you definitely popularized this one fairly recently.
Yeah. So the Rose Dragon core was here. It was just a topic of how we using Link Cross with Fiber. Because Fiber Link Cross, you already get whatever tuner you want and some non-tuner material there. What's the most benefit thing we can get with that? Like obviously, if Ib is around, we just don't limit to play any kind of tuner. We just figure out the levels, then we can just synchro summon with it. But Ib is gone, so the best thing we like, the best replacement we find is Golden Rose Maiden.
Yeah,
that's like it provide equal amount of monster as Ib. The only difference is just you have to play these Rose Dragon package in the deck.
Yeah,
and you have to play Golden Rose Maiden itself is not a tuner, so it doesn't combo with Fiber as much as it.
And then the final part of here is, I guess to kind of run over the last bit, we have the Brotarp to Chaos Dragon Levineer. We also have the Crusadia Draco, which is more or less an extender with Tempest when you get Tempest banished. And
those are just like this combo piece. Because the combo now, when I LP for Brotor Search Levy, then when I get to Pisty with more dragons, I summon the Fusion Trish.
Yes.
And that's in order to make, like, the ending board now is VFD. So in order to make VFD, I need 2 level 9. Trish just become the first of them. And Trish gonna banish 1 card of any card in my deck and 2 cards from my opponent. And the card, like, there's very few cards you will get benefit if you banish from your own deck. And Tempest would just be like the only Dragon Lure we have, so I guess we're choosing that. And Draco is just surprisingly a special summon because you always do that under Appaloosa and there's always room for you.
Yes, that is very true. And as for, I guess there is still another extender in here, which would be Nocto Vision Dragon down here, just no space to kind of put up there. What is what purpose does he serve? Is it just mainly just an extender if you summon out a Dark Dragon?
Vision is good. Like it's very good as an extender because if you play Goki before, you might play like the Butter Spy, which if you normal summon a warrior, you get to special summon that card in hand. Like Vision is already doing the same thing. However, Vision also draw you a card if it's being linked as link material.
Yep.
So itself is like providing a monster for free and draw you another card to replace itself.
Okay.
So just so much value. The only downside for like me not playing 3 Vision is like the first the effect is once per turn. So it's a hard once per turn for both effects. Having more copies doesn't really accomplish anything. Second, like Vision is good as a level 7 because the combo is safer. It's also bad because it's level 7. You can't really normal summon it at any point. So it's like a common death for you to happen for playing the deck. It's like you open a couple of high level monsters. Like imagine you just have Vision, Red Eyes, Black Dragon, Router. Each of them are like half of the full combo, but they just don't work together.
That's true. Wow, that would be a pretty rough play.
I've opened before, like in YCS. Like I think that's one of my loss in Vegas. Ooh. I just opened I opened like Black, Red Eyes, and Router.
You know, sometimes it does happen. It is like it's the opposite of the Exodia hand. You have all these one-ofs. You're like, if these were Exodia, it'd be kind of nice. But, you know, it does happen. And as for the rest of the deck, we have, of course, all the field spells. We have, and these are just extenders. These are all just extenders because it keeps going.
Like the one for one, the 5 reborn spells.
Yes.
These are just 4 extenders. Like 1 for 1 is pretty much the OG Chaos Space.
Yes.
It just like it's doing the same thing. You can do the full combo without normal summon. That's why it's good. But it's a one-off, and you have to use your Red Eyes at the very beginning. And also getting awkward if you open Red Eyes with 1 for 1.
Ah, yeah.
That's another reason why like one of the hand traps specifically has to be Veiler, because that's the very few hand traps that combo with 1 for 1. It provides a light, it provides a level 1, and it provides a tuner.
Okay. So I actually did not expect that you would use 1 for 1 for Veiler, but I guess that is another possibility.
I think I actually do that like as often as I summon Black Metal, to be honest. Because there's so many like starters in the deck already, sometimes you just don't need to access to Black Metal for like a starter purpose. You need, because there's like less way to access tuner than accessing to dragons in the whole deck.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Now,
and if you are able to access to a tuner, maybe you're able to save Tracer for like the defense savage play, like I mentioned earlier.
No, that makes sense. I like how you can always like weave your combo into something a bit more adaptable to the existing situation that you're in, rather than rely on the single combo and it's either you make it or you bust. Like I like the flexibility, and being a 60 card deck, you have dedicated a huge portion of it to
14. Yes.
Yeah, 14 cards to, I guess, hand traps. This is insane. We have triple Imperm, triple Veiler. These are just negations. I guess your main target here is to hit your opponent's needle fiber. This is mainly this. This is, of course, board smashing. This is helping you to get the extra reach for your other hand traps in case you don't get it.
Yes.
And Ash is just Ash. Ash needs no explanation there. So this is a pretty heavy core. Have you experienced where you just have too many hand traps?
No, because so there's a backstory for me having exact 14 hand traps.
Oh, exact 14.
Exact 14 has to be it could be 15 to be honest, but it has to be a range in between 14 and 15. Yep. So I was doing some math when I'm building the deck. In a current format, we know how the format is. You have the fiber Eldritch or the rock deck. There's technically there's just so many combos you have to kind of stop or at least interrupt it.
Yeah.
And therefore, I want to have enough hand traps in my deck. What I mean enough is 9 or at least 9 in the main deck in a regular 40 card deck.
Your deck main function can require that resource, right?
Yes, but I think that's the combo Eldritch definitely have more than that, and the rock that are at least 6, 7 or so, or at least very close to it. They usually have a place of Ash and place of Nibiru and maybe Imperm. If you run a deck with 3 or less than 6 hand trap into this format, I think that's just suiciding. You have to win every single dice roll to even have a chance.
Yes, that's the argument right now. It's there are some decks that rather than running hand traps, they run Dark Ruler No More in the main.
Yeah, those are equivalent the same card because ultimately they take the same amount of spots. So honestly, you just choosing a different hand trap in my opinion.
Okay.
They're both just non-engine cards, essentially. Also, you can you can instead of running 0 hand traps, but you have to run probably 7, 8 to maybe 9 board wipes going second, and you probably have to pure go second at that point. But the ultimate goal is the same. You need about 9 non-engine cards, or at least 9, to compete in the format while going second.
That's what I find quite interesting. Because speaking of mass board wipe, your side deck. Okay, we'll get into the side deck in a bit, but your side deck is kind of going with that philosophy, which is mass board wipe to clear things. You need to trade as few cards as possible for as many pluses as you can.
So, like I said, I need 9 in a 40 card deck, right?
Yes.
So in order to keep the same ratio, I did some math. There will be 14 hand traps necessary in the 60 card deck.
Oh.
That's why let's end with 14 specifically. And I also have 4 more in the side. The numbers being, after I siding, I can have up to 18 in the main. That's the number equivalent to having 12 after siding in a 40 card deck.
I see. Well, you heard it here, guys. This is how you do the math before you're siding. I don't even go into that much detail when it goes to siding, but you heard it from a champ, and I would definitely take that as gospel right now. I'm learning something as I go.
Yeah, I have so many people asking why not just play 3 Ash or something like that. The only thing is, Ash is good and bad at the same time, both in the deck and outside the deck. Outside the deck, Ash doesn't really hurt hard against Rock or the Fiber Eldritch. It hurts Ultra guys, but those are kind of the tier 2 decks already. You should focus on the tier 1s the most,
especially at competitive events.
Yes, and Ash, the biggest downside in the deck is Ash is not a light or dark, because every single other hand trap except Imperm are either light or dark. Even Phantasma's a dark dragon, so you can combo is safer.
Yes.
So the main issue, if you cannot Chaos Space pitch it, if you somehow open that it will be very awkward.
Okay.
The good part is it's still just a normal summon tuner, but that's the most it can provide.
At least it can, it might go into needle fiber.
Sometimes it can happen, and sometimes when you use Railroad's Dragon already, you need a level 3 tuner to summon on fiber. That can also work.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And the biggest downside is it's a hard once per turn. So having 2 in the deck, drawing multiple copy, you're just unlucky maybe. It's not even guaranteed bad, but having like 3 in the deck, the chance of you drawing 2 of them is significantly higher compared to only 2 copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other hand trap, Nibiru is just the one you want to see for the format, and Fantastic the one you help to see Nibiru.
Of course, these are these are best friends right now.
Yes, and Vader, it has so much synergy in the deck, both with 1-for-1 being a light, and it's not once per turn, and it's good in the format. Impermanent is probably one of the best one after Vader. It's still kind of conflicting with a lot of hand traps in the deck, but it's just better than everything else I can choose.
Okay. You won't blend Ogre, for instance.
Ogre just doesn't hit anything. It's a light.
It's a light. Really it's a tuner. It's just not doing anything.
Yeah, it's not even function like a hand trap if you go second. It's not good enough for it.
Yeah, it's because if they go needle fiber, they're still gonna summon out the card, and they're still gonna keep going.
Which cards maybe or Gamma is very good, but Gamma conflicts even more with other hand traps in the deck.
And you have to run a driver. I'm not a fan of running garnets in the deck.
I feel like if I'm playing a 60 card deck, drawing driver is acceptable because the chance is significantly lower.
True. I'm just never a fan of running a garnet in the deck. Yeah. Because it's if we draw it, it just feels that much worse because the odds are so low and you still got it.
You tried to Chaos Space pitch it. I guess that's the most we can do.
Hey, at least you got some value out of it. Yeah.
I think at the version 1, it was actually Gamma in my main, but it was impermanent in the side, so it causing huge conflict after I side. Because I have both Gamma, Nibiru, Phantasm, impermanent in the same deck. It just working very awkwardly.
Okay.
And it was just completely take out Gamma and put impermanent in the main.
Okay.
I think that's the whole story for the hand trap lineup.
And that kind of covers most of the questions I have for the main deck. Let's put these away for now. So let's look into the extra deck. Extra deck is rather quick because most of these cards, we should know what they do. Double Striker Dragon, Romulus. We have Protector Whelp from the Destruction Swordsman, which is kind of serving as I guess it's this versions of Delingers because you can get rid of some of the dragons. And
it's more similar to Beakoff before. Yeah. You mainly need it to link away the Nibiru token.
Yes. And this one is also useful because it's also a dragon. So if you're locked under, say, you got hand trapped by, and you're stuck with an LP or a Pisty, then this can help you out that. Of course, we have LP Pisty, Link Cross, and of course, Link Cross, we have Christian Needle Fiber, Cracks. We have Boral Sword, Appaloosa. That would make up the entire Link lineup of this entire deck. And now we go into the specialized part of the deck, which would be the Synchro and Fusion and Xyz. We have, of course, part of the Rose package. We have Garden Rose Maiden. Savage is Savage. Savage is such a good card.
It's Savage.
We have Croco Dragon, which is our a way to replenish our hand. Leaving him on the field isn't that bad because he does offer you a pop.
It's sometimes even better against some matchup.
Yeah. It's a quick effect pop. And of course we have the extra Ripper Trish, and we have our True King of All Calamities. Combining these two, they usually get into this. Otherwise you can't really get into this because there's no 9s here. You rely on these two.
Yeah, there's no 9s. Yeah.
So that would sum up the extra deck. And I also have a side deck. So the lineup would be triple Lightning Storm, triple Evening Match, triple Twin Twister. Those would be your more or less blowout cards. Your mass board wipe for the Evenly and the Lightning Storm. Although Lightning Storm, of course, a bit more flexible. Twin Twisters, I think, are dealing with some of the more annoying back row that you have to trade with your opponent. But maybe you'll ditch stuff into the graveyard that will synergize you further. Like Absorb is a pretty good throwaway into the graveyard. And you might even throw a card away into the grave, and then you can use World Legacy Guard Dragon to bring it back. So there's always ways to actually recycle stuff, which is why Twin Twister is so useful. Now, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people are still kind of polarized by this card. Ghost Mourner, Moonlight Chill. Like that card, people see it as a weaker Veiler. Can you explain to them why this is not exactly the case, and why we need this?
They are actually right. It is a weaker Veiler, but there's no one preventing you running both. So that's the logic behind it. Like, I can have this is a weaker Veiler, but now I can have more than 3 Veilers. Yeah, why not, right?
A lot of people say that when you go into Phantasme, you don't want to draw into Imperm because you now have a monster on the field because you can't Imperm. But you can draw into Moonlight Chill and you can still do it. In other words, it still gives you like 6 copies of negation.
So because when I build a deck, I will fear more like the rock matchup. Main reason because like the Owlage matchup, you're still like you're still trading resources, sometimes trading hand traps, and against rocks, it's more just like a pure dice roll, to be honest.
If they play through your hand traps, it just feels like that board is almost unbreakable.
Yeah, it's literally just both players. Both players can just show their hand and see if the combo guy can go through. If not, that's just game. That's pretty much all it is. But the thing is, like, I was trying to figure out what kind of hand traps are working better against rocks. My result were like the pure negations are better compared to like the utility ones. I ended up figuring out like the pure negations are way better against rocks. So I just want to max out like Vader, Imperm, and Chill somewhere in the deck. And I think at the end I just choose like 2 playsets in the main and have a backup playset just for rock, like this one specific matchup, and sometimes mirror, because mirror you just want to have as many as you can.
Okay. Now, I guess the last question I have regarding the side deck. Now, you also have a Pankratops, you also have a Red Reboot. Both of those are limited, so they're of course some of the most powerful cards. But the one token collector, some people are like maxing out on 3. Why are you using 1? Is it just a space issue?
So first of all, like I said in the main, I have 14 in the main, and all I care is 4 more in the side. And after I put like, I guarantee myself playing 3 Chill, I want to have like the best 1-off hand trap I can have. It just down to, do I want to play like a 1, like the 3rd Ash that I didn't play in the main, or do I want to play something else? Collector just coming in my mind, and I just ended up choosing it because Collector is working better against the combo Eldritch deck.
Okay.
It's actually very, it's probably like one of the best hand trap against the combo Eldritch deck. But at the same time, it's like not really well against rocks, because when they summon tokens, it's usually too late. It's like probably already at the point doesn't even matter.
I feel like they already synchroed into a couple bosses already.
They either already like finished searching his block dragon, or they already synchro summoned it in some form way. So it could be too late. So that's why like Collector just sounds like a good 1-off in the deck.
You can counter your own deck.
Yes. Like if I knew there were like more FTKs or just more dragon decks in general, I'll probably just take out the Chill and replace with like some Lancias and maybe even bump Collector to like 2 or 3.
Okay. Thank you for your side deck insight. There's one question, the last question before we get into the combo. We will talk about, what are your thoughts on like the FTK? Exploder Rocket.
Yeah. So my friend actually like back in April, like our Chinese group actually came up with like the FTK already. It's like slightly different. There's like the way we approach the bird is different than Tristan's deck. But the ultimate goal is the same, it's just FTK opponent. However, back then in the beginning, remember April format, there were actually quite a lot of token collector in the meta. I think that's when people actually start picking up the card in the meta. So you're not gonna resolve the bird FTK popping tokens when there's collector in the format, right?
It's true.
So we just quickly discard the deck and we just went to like something else. So I think the FTK is winning this one specific event just because there's like first of all, not many people know about it. Second, there's almost no collector in the format. Yeah, I think that's the big, like a very huge issue. If everyone now starting having like some form of collector in the extra deck, in the side deck, or even in the main deck, because I saw Dom actually mean that. the FTK gonna have like a very rough time in the incoming future.
Okay, so we are going to move on to the combo section of this. I have actually taken out all of the hand trap section of the deck because that's going to make this search portion a little bit longer. Now we're going to do the combo, and then we're going to do it a bit different from usual combo. Instead of Shunping demonstrating it himself, we're going to try to do it ourselves, and he's going to coach. And if I do it wrong, I will get yelled at.
You'll get yelled at.
Hey, put that back. Okay, so this is the one safer combo, and we'll just start it off. Okay, so we're gonna demonstrate it this way. We're gonna go into the core part of the combo, which is get to Appaloosa with an LP. There's two directions that you can go. You can go from, say, the Romulus, or you can go with the Needle Fiber as a start. These are your starting options available. So depending on the path, they can still both end the same way. But we're gonna start with safer. Safer start is gonna be the Romulus one, and then we're gonna stop at the Appaloosa, and then we'll just finish out the combo afterwards so that we don't have to demonstrate the combo multiple times. Okay, so, well, please don't yell at me. Okay, start with the safer. Safer effect, probably send yourself to the grave. It's a little bit safer if you send yourself, I would say, because at least you won't get like hit by a Veiler, because if you get hit by a Veiler at that point, it's a little awkward. You do lose some material, and
it gives your opponent choice whenever you normal summon safer, because if you pick anything from hand, it could lose to Imperm or Veiler, but if your opponent straight Imperm or Veiler on the summon, thinking you might tribute yourself, they might lose to Wolexig, All Dragon, or any Reborn card.
Ah, that's true. So from here, we banish it for the black dragon that we added, and now we turn this black dragon. We're gonna link it off, and let's see how much time it actually takes to do it. And we're gonna set up the chain link 1, chain link 2. Either way, they're gonna be able to hit this one, so it doesn't. They're gonna be able to stop us on chain link 2.
Mainly because the hand trap in the format is just Imperm and Ash, Imperm and Vapor. So the striker dragon will get hit if they try.
Yeah. So from here, we're going to banish the black dragon, summon the white dragon. White dragon, we are going to take both of these, and we're going to go into Rami. So this is the Rami start, and this is going to search. And if they have some way to stop this, well, that's going to be tough luck at that point. Let's hope that you have an extended to keep pushing, and that's why it's really important to actually have that. And here we're going to add the field spell of Dragon Reveal. Like these two are these are like the best field spells together because they offer you like a free summon. And to start off the combo,
they just give you a tracer. They just give you a tracer.
It's a free tracer, and well, it's not free. It's you have to pay for it, but you can turn any of your cards into a tracer. So yeah, you throw into an Absolute Router. Don't forget to actually search with the Absolute Router. Remember, this is a new chain link, and some people like to choke people. Like, hey, that's a separate chain link, and then you do something, you forget about it, and then your combo dies, and that's pretty awful. So you don't want to end up in that situation. So we get ourselves a tracer. From here, Romulus, we link it off, and we turn it into a link cross. So this link cross here is to do a token collector check. Because token collector has to, basically has to check right away because it's a trigger based, so that's where it can actually activate and summon out. So from here, if we're safe, we get to keep going. We're gonna swap the field spells, and we're gonna special summon the Rocket Tracer. And don't I've seen people actually take these two and just turn it into the Garden Rose. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do that. Although it is a backup play, you should rather, if you're gonna get disrupted, you'd rather pop the token or something and turn it into at least like a savage at that point. That's only if you really messed up or something really had to counter you at that weird point.
So this is where I mentioned earlier. Imagine you also start with an unexpected die with safer. Now you just don't have to use your tracer for fiber. You can use the Dragon Tuner, you summon it into fiber. Then imagine fiber get Imperm here. You will still have one more tracer or one more way to access tracer left in hand. So worst case, you can still have a savage or something else.
Oh, that's really good. So from here, Kristron, of course, this is Red Rose Dragon. That is a tuner monster, 3/1/1, and we're gonna get rid of all of these guys. And that's gonna go into the standard play. This is the standard play. Well, it wasn't the standard play. You made it the standard play. Let's just put it that way. And this is going to chain link 1, chain link 2, because the Black Garden to me is more or less the bonus. You want the White Rose Dragon to come out guaranteed. So it will be these two. And now we finish the play off, or finish the start off with the Appaloosa, and we get to use the Garden Rose Maiden. We banish it from the graveyard, and we get to summon out a Rose Dragon or a Dragon Synchro monster, which we don't have. And we go with this. And since this is a Dragon monster, White Rose Dragon, we're going to link it off. And we have our LP. So this is the initial start by going through the Romulus route. Now we're going to reset right now, and we're going to jump into, what if we start with the Crystron route? That's the route I'm actually not as familiar with. So now we're going to go into a different path. We're going to definitely go into the Cliffordbacks combo first. And to start things off, let's start with the Unexpected Die. I'm hoping that I don't mess this one up. So we're going to go with the Galaxy Serpent. Either dragon that you're going to summon out, it's going to be a tuner, just because that's you already explained it. You're only playing dragon tuners. And
that's the point to run this engine.
Then the normal summon out the Veiler. We have to do it in this order. If you don't do it in this order, you pass turn and you cry. Next, we're going to go into the Galaxy Serpent. We're going to turn this into the Striker Dragon. And this is going to prevent us, I believe you told me, it's going to prevent us from drawing into our Boost Sector launch, which will make us cry later. And then now that we have a tuner and a non-tuner, even though they're not dragons, it's okay because we go into the Cliffordbacks, and Cliffordbacks, we get to summon out the Red Rose. So it's usually going to be Red Rose unless you already had the Red Rose in your hand. Or if Red Rose is in your hand, would you still do it?
If Red Rose in hand, then it depends. Then I'm trying to see if I can like even do anything.
Well, you'll still summon it out from your hand, but then you'll start casting cards into your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, and next we go into Link Cross again. So at this point of the combo, it's actually very interesting because you're limited on exactly what you can do. So you just do exactly what you can. So we go into Link Cross. Link Cross generates out 2 tokens here, and I guess we can just straight synchro this, since this is the only option we have. Garden Rose Maiden. This is the weird part. Oh, I synchroed out, so now I get the white Rose Dragon. Let's not forget it. So we summon the White Rose. This
and the Black Garden. And the Black Garden.
Oh yes, and the Black Garden. See, this is me misplaying already. Scrub Tom. So we get the Black Garden. We have all these pieces here, and from here. This is the part that's really iffy. Like, how do you keep going?
Like, in order for you to finish to get to like Appaloosa LP, the other setups you have to make a round with at some point.
So I have to force myself into a dragon.
Yeah, 2 dragons.
My guess is using these 2. Yeah, I do have a dragon in here. Do I use the Protector Well?
Yes.
And then I'll banish this. Summon out this. Then I can take these 2.
Yeah, like if you're opening like the tuner plus non-tuner doesn't including a dragon, then you can make a Striker Dragon first with one of the Rose Dragon, then make Romulus.
This is actually really fun. This is hard to see, but that's why you have to use this. You have to use this. Okay, so from here,
it can be anything generic, but this one would just be the best one because it's like light. Also a dragon. It's light.
It's a dragon. It's super generic, and we get to add a Dragon Ravine. Okay, this part is pretty easy, I think. Use the 2 material. We can go into Appaloosa just to be safe.
Yes.
And drop this effect. Toss the extra card. And we put this in there. Now we have our dragon, so now we can actually get our Tracer.
Yep.
Do a little switcheroo. Okay, yeah, I got there. Oh, that was hard to see. That was really hard to see.
Yeah.
And this one right here. So now we got to the same spot.
It's essentially just the same exact thing, except in a very different sequence. It will cost you 1 extra deck. That's it. And Appaloosa will have 1 less monster. But besides that, everything's the same. But you see there's 1 less imperm in the hand, but ultimately, because Safer is a 1 card, 2 dragons, and we are using 2 cards to make a 5 here. So ultimately, it's the same thing.
So we're going to finish off the combo now. So from this point, what would I do? Like, this is the part where I am not as familiar. So would I go LP effect?
Yes.
And I didn't use Safer in this case, but like, what would be the steps here? Because it's actually different between the 2 combos.
Well, we're trying to end with VFD in this version of the deck. So...
Oh, we're trying to max out?
What can you think? What can you think?
My guess... let's do... Well, I would do Safer.
think about how we're making a VFD, to be honest.
We need 3 dragons. So...
Well, we need 3 dragons for the Trish. We also need to synchro summon for the other level 9.
That is hard. I actually can't see it.
Yeah. Alright, so you have to summon Brotor here.
Oh, it's Brotor. Okay.
Yeah, it's Brotor. It can be black metal, but Brotor will give you Levy that's ripping another card.
In fact, target the LP. And
yes.
Well, this is hand heavy though. I was trying to conserve resources, but it doesn't seem like
it is hand heavy just because we start with 2 cards into the combo instead of like usually you use 1 card. Also, at the end, Crocodile Dragon will draw the cards back.
Okay.
So at the end, you will break even.
Okay. So from here, we got the Brotar. Brotar added the Levy. I threw out another Imperm, and I'll have to banish 3 Darks because I want to rip.
Yes.
I don't think these Darks even matter because you can still bring it back.
The Rose Dragon doesn't matter because Golden Rose Maiden is being used already.
Do I get rid of... Can I get rid of the Tracer? No.
No, Tracer is the only one you have to keep in the graveyard, but everything else are fine.
Well, I think
there's still like Router and Striker Dragon.
Oh yeah, there's also Striker Dragon. I think Striker Dragon might be a better choice because in case you're able to throw a Chaos Space into the grave, you can actually just put it back.
There's a trick is like you can just link the Brotor first into Pisty. You banish the Brotor, then you're gonna Pisty the Brotor back from the banish pile.
Ah, okay. Well,
so you get like saving a little bit more resources in the graveyard, although it probably doesn't matter.
So from here I go into Pisty. Pisty get to revive something.
Yeah.
Best card is probably like Tracer.
No, you'll summon Brotor here.
Summon Brotar back.
Yes.
Oh, you want the level.
Remember, we're synchro summoning. We need a level 1 and 2 level 4 to synchro summon for level 9.
Ah, that's really... Oh man, this is deep.
At this point, there's something else you have to do before.
I have to activate the
garden for
the garden because I want the tokens now. Okay,
yes.
So from here, I am going to take... this effect's gone. This effect's gone. These are all gone. These guys are gone.
Yep.
So go ahead, link it off. Not link it off. Banish them all for Fusion Trish.
Yep.
Fusion Trish, I get to banish a card.
Yes. The top card of your opponent's deck.
And any card.
Any card in your deck, and you choose a card from your opponent's extra deck. You get to see their extra deck.
Oh, that's perfect. I love this.
Yeah.
So now I get rid of. I know what deck they're playing, more or less.
Yes.
Then I get rid of this.
Yes. And Tempest will search you the Crusadia.
Yeah. Because it's a wind dragon.
Yeah, a wind dragon. And also on summon of Trish, your opponent will get a token from Black Garden.
So this one is a half attack, so they get a token right here.
They get a token.
I'll put it in.
They get a first token.
So that's first token. So this. So then when I special summon this, they'll get a
second token.
They use the effect of Black Garden. And these are gone. This is gone, and I can summon back out the Rocket Tracer. And
here you have your level 9 set up for the synchro summon.
So I just synchro it out. And now I get Archosaur.
Yep.
Archosaur, I use 2 materials, so I draw 2 cards.
Yep.
And
like technically you can even synchro summon for the synchro Trish to rip another card in your opponent's hand.
Oh.
Because you're doing 4-4-1. But the other thing is like, because you draw 2, imagine you didn't draw unexpected die. You draw like War Legacy Guard Dragon. That's just gonna summon Tracer and give you another Savage with it.
So right now we've ripped 1 card out of their hand, one card from their extra deck, and this is where you finish off with this. Well, of course, my deck is right now like not fully shuffled. That's why we drew the unexpected dies. So from here, we go into True King of All Calamities in defense mode. And this one is I'm protected from like monster effects, but if I hit a Savage, it's basically over. What are alternative cards that could extend past that? Like if you could get the extra body out. Like,
it's also because you open like kind of wars the hand traps.
Oh,
like,
right.
It's very possible you can just have like a quick launch as long as you summon a Tracer. Just need anything to pop.
So if I didn't draw 2 unexpected, like this is like drawing double desires into desires. If I didn't draw into it, I would be able to basically do this. So I'll be able to assume that I didn't have the die. Let's just switch it out for a second. Assume that I have the Legacy Guard Dragon. All right. So if this was the case, I'll activate it, and then I'm gonna bring the Tracer back, and use the effect of Tracer, pop it, lock myself into darks. I summon out the Rocket. These are
Recharger.
Recharger, and now we synchro the two, and I put it anywhere. Just put it here, for instance. And would you put an attack or defense?
Defense, because if you put defense, you put a lightning storm, you're just gonna throw the Appaloosa away. That's fine. That's still acceptable. But if you put in attack and you put a lightning storm, you kind of have to negate it.
So you basically baited into it. So we can finish with this, and then now we have a striker, and we still have a sword. So in other words, we still can push one more time, even if the board dies.
Yeah, like also the protector whelp usually will also be in the graveyard, because usually you do the Romulus play first.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, that is true. So there would be about 3 cards left.
With these cards, you can do like quite a lot. Like if you already access to Red Eyes, you can do the Recharger Striker into Red Eyes play. Or if you don't access to Red Eyes, you can still do the Recharger Striker play and revive like LP. LP gonna get you like either Red Eyes or get you what's called, safer, and you can just do a lot of things.
Okay. No, that's really cool. So we got basically this is like the end board, and you basically just win, because once you're able to shout your opponent out from any attribute, like rocks turn off the earth, they're dead. If you
this is another FTK.
It's an FTK. It's an FTK in its own sense, which is complete stun.
Yeah,
wow, really good. Okay, this is really cool. Let's look into that red rose. What if we open into like the red rose? We have time for that? I think we do. Let's show them the red rose. Now that I'm done embarrassing myself, let's start off with this red rose play. Now, if we open red rose, this is semi-garnety. It is still a tuner. It's still a dragon tuner, but it does eat up one of your plays. Like if you want to go into like a Cleave for Brax, now you have to summon from hand. So what do we do from here? So this is like one of your spices.
Yeah, so you can obviously do like the regular combo. It's just when you get to Fiber, you use Fiber's effect to summon from your hand. You still get to finish the whole combo. It's just you're gonna lose a lot of cards from your hand. So you're probably gonna end with the combo with no cards. That's probably usually gonna happen. But there's a trick we can do. So I guess we just go through it. Okay. So this hand you go normal summon Chamber. Chamber gonna search the Hospitality. Link Chamber into Striker Dragon.
And of course,
search your boost sector.
Yep. So we get ourselves these field spell.
Then you're gonna use the Dragon Maid spell to revive Chamber back, and
summons it in defense position.
Yeah. Then linking to Romulus like usual.
Yeah. So this part of the combo is still more or less the same.
Yeah, it's still the same. Romulus is gonna search your Ravine.
Yep.
Like this combo requires to, instead of having 2 dragons, you need actually 3 dragons. So at this point, you're gonna activate like any extender like Succession in hand to revive the Dragon Maid from the graveyard.
Okay.
And you're gonna link this Dragon Maid into your second copy of Striker Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is
the Dragon Maid spells in the graveyard.
That's why you run 2 Striker Dragons. I was kind of wondering why the first Striker Dragon wasn't really in use. Because like
the second Striker Dragon is a very good backup plan for majority of the time.
So now that we have the Striker Dragon.
Yeah. The Striker Dragon already grab your boost sector, so it can. It also doesn't have the second copy. But it will be able to trigger Romulus' second effect.
Okay.
So Romulus' second effect says whenever there's a dragon monster summoned from extra deck to where this card point to, you can special summon a dragon or wing beast, because it's a Dragoonity card, from your hand to your field. It's negated for this turn, and it cannot be used as link material for the rest of the turn. However, if you summon this, the red rose from your hand, then you can straight link the Romulus into Cross.
Wow.
And Cross gonna summon 2 of your tokens, and you're just gonna straight use the red rose dragon to synchro summon with the tokens.
That really makes a huge shortcut.
Yes.
Now we can just go from here. We didn't even use the Ravine yet.
No, we actually don't need. We actually won't access it until like you finish the first half of the combo already.
Wow. So now we go into the the Garden Rose, and the Red Rose. We get our Black Garden, and we get ourselves the White Rose. It's actually very easy to forget the search Black Garden because the key, everyone always remembers to special summon, but a lot of people will forget. Like me, I forgot it earlier. There you are. So this is gonna get summoned out.
You actually already have enough for Appaloosa on the board.
Wow, that's
and
right.
you haven't accessed fiber yet. So in case things happens like Nibiru happens, you still have fiber as a backup just to climb.
This is really, really cool. And then fiber, of course, brings out another tuner for you. And if you're able to extend with like any sort of graveyard revival, say a rocket, you can still finish with another Borreload Savage.
Yeah, like if you have more monsters, you can maybe fiber summon one, they use something else into Appaloosa. Or if you fiber don't have enough monster, you're just gonna fiber summon a Dragon Tuner and having another monster to form arrows for LP and PST.
This is crazy because like you just kept most of your cards in your extra deck in this entire play. Where the other one we did burn through a couple more cards, but now we still just banish the Garden Rose Maiden and we get the White Rose Dragon, and
I will probably still just access the Tracer here, so I can just use Maiden at any point because you have to access Tracer at some point for the combo.
That's true, and then we can just special summon it using Boot Sector.
Yes.
Wow, this is insane. This is really cool. I did not expect that. Like, you know, so you can do the same combo, but you run out of hand. This one you maintain not only your hand, but you maintain most of your extra deck too. Ooh, I like that.
This is a very like hidden trick. Majority of people, or even including self, not like familiar with. I find this out like about a week before LCS4.
Well.
Because like at LCS 3, I just having issue breaking with this one Red Rose, and I just don't know how to use it.
But you figured it out, dude. That's why you're the Dragon God. You figured it out. Like you figured out how to turn these bricky hands into these full power output that outputs even an even stronger board, which is pretty insane.
This combo is actually even like safer to play against interruptions.
I noticed.
You just didn't use fiber.
Yeah, your extra deck is quite full. You still have fiber.
I mean, majority of time, if like you do the combo regularly, the fiber will be gone, and the protected wall has a chance to be used as well.
Yeah, so you still have a full.
Having fiber left allows you so many different recover plays.
I like this. I really like this. And then there's, I guess, we have enough time for one more spice. Do you want to show your one spice where your opponent opens a zone, or we'll just keep that a secret? Oh, we are seeing it, guys. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button, smash subscribe, ding the notification bell. Okay, so this is a going second combo. That's why we have 6 cards in our hand, and your opponent opened up a zone. Okay, so what do we do here? Like, this doesn't seem too bad. It seems like we have, you know, a dragon, we have tuner.
Yeah, like your hands is already able to support you to all the regular combos. But there are like some tricks you can do in like certain specific situation where you like, if you want to like play into back rows or into hand traps.
Okay.
So especially when like a zone is open for you, this thing you can do is like here you go quick launch first, summon the Tracer out.
So activate the quick launch. Let's drop the Tracer.
Drop the Tracer, and you're gonna because Tracer is on the field, it's actually a Dragon Tuner. White Rose Dragon is able to activate its fat and special summon it.
Summon in a defense mode, attack mode? I guess it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yeah. Then you link one of them into a Striker Dragon under the Sunlight Wolf.
Oh, you're actually gonna let him trigger. Okay, take this one.
Doesn't matter.
This one's safer in case we get disrupted, as then we can still use it. Yeah. This one, so we're going to Striker Dragon. They have, I'm chinning one, they have chinning 2.
Yeah. It's fine to like just let the Sunlight resolve, because if they have Ash, they probably have Ash in hand or already used. And if they have anything, adding a back doesn't matter if we're just gonna kill them this turn.
Okay. So from here.
So here you can link the Tracer into Pisty.
This is interesting. This is okay.
Then because there is a rocket in the graveyard, you're gonna Striker Dragon pop itself to add the Tracer back in hand.
I see.
Then you see the zone's opening, right? No, you don't even need to boost sector yet.
I don't even need to boot sector yet.
You don't even need to boot sector it. You can straight activate Pisty effect.
Right.
Because there is a zone, so you just summon the Y rolls back. Then Y rolls, you can link it into LP, put it on the top.
And LP can activate something here.
Yes. Then LP, you can summon whatever you want. Like, Brotor Search Levy is very.
And we still have boot sector. We haven't used boot sector yet.
Like, you can go Brotor Search Levy and try to use Levy to clear some back rolls. And after that, then you drop, like, because you haven't used boot sector to summon the Tracer yet. That could just be your fiber.
But at this point, if I go into Levy, I need another monster in the graveyard.
Or you could just pitch the Veiler instead of the Imperm.
That is true. Then I would be
also haven't double summoned yet. So there are a couple of things you can do. Like if you actually don't have the Veiler, you can just link double Gall Dragon into the Protector Whelp. That is
actually really, that's crazy. Now I get 2
Oh,
tokens.
Then you can Levy clear some things on the board.
So
and then,
these would still be in there. And then we would go.
You can even banish 3 Dark if you fear like Hand Trap more. It just depends on the game situation.
Since going second, I probably want to clear some of their back row because Rage is actually very scary because Rage will disrupt 2 cards. And I feel
like if they do have Rage, they probably already used on like one of the Gall Dragons. But things we don't know, like things can't happen.
This is pretty crazy because then I can go boot sector, special summon this, and I can really just start pushing for the big bosses.
You're like very far ahead of based on the board.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is insane. Do I even need to keep the Brotar? Brotar can even get converted. Like if I just want an extra body, I can even put an extra body out.
You can even just go straight like I think you will still just fiber do things, and you probably just go into Boar Sword or something.
Yes, backs. But why don't we play Access Code Talker?
The thing is, you might have a situation where you're locked on dragons.
Okay.
And you don't guarantee yourself always having the Protector Whelp to unlock yourself from the dragons. So Boar Sword is good here to push for to still being summoned under the Guard Dragons, where Access doesn't work on that. The other thing is like since the extra deck is so tight for the current build, there's no links 3s. Mm-hmm. So whenever you summon Access, it will be capped at 43. Like you're not gonna link Appaloosa into an Access, right? That's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay.
So if your Access only 43, that means in order to deal 8k, even after you're popping everything, in order to deal 8k, you need about 2 more monsters.
Okay, that's still.
And having 2 more after Access is actually quite hard to get there, compared to having Boar Sword +1 and having an attack position monster on opponent's board. That's just way easier.
I see. So at this point, Brotar is probably one of my weakest monsters out here. I can basically just keep pushing.
Yeah. You can make Boar Sword, then Rose Maiden summon one, then make like a Trish.
There we go. And then we just take.
You also haven't used Ravine, right? No, you haven't even Romulus. So there's you're not limited to do anything specific, but you are so up on the amount of monsters you can do whatever you want just based on the current game state.
I like how it's super flexible. In fact, this entire deck is like a web. You can connect most of your plays to different things. I'm just misplaying like crazy while you're still coaching, so this is kind of embarrassing for me, but it's okay. I'm learning. This is how you learn a deck. You just gotta experience it. Just try it out. Make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. It's really interesting to see how this deck can actually evolve each play into the next one. There's so much depth into it, which is why I find it very, very enjoyable. Much more enjoyable than a burn FTK, in my opinion. People are already stuck at home. Why would they want to sit there watching you combo and burn it? That's really mean, all right, guys? I would not encourage it, but if you guys are, you're playing for LCS, whatever you want to do, you do you, guys. But this, to me, is much more fascinating, and I hope you guys are enjoying this video. And I guess I'm going to close out this video. Thank you so much, Shunping, for joining This is really eye-opening. You just evolved the deck even further. You know, like this is like the stuff. I have like all this other stuff here that was part of the rocket deck. We've got out the abomination. This is no longer a rocket deck because a rocket deck would include stuff like this, but this stuff has been cut out in favor. And like, why cut out Union Carrier of all things? Like this card is generically useful.
Yeah, because VFD is better than Carrier.
Your VFD is better than Carrier. You've heard it here, guys. So, like, this is why we've shifted 60 card decks. He's even done the math for us, guys, which is pretty insane of how to keep your ratios in check. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and hit subscribe, ding notification bell. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you top again. I actually look forward to seeing you in person next time.
I wish Worlds is still existing, so I maybe have a chance to go there, but that's fine.
I would love to see you there. I would definitely like be like, hey, well, we should totally hang out.
yeah, 100%.
Yes, but if maybe next year, I'll probably maybe make it next year. I'm pretty sure you. I've actually looked at some of your further past. I know some people have already clicked away from the video, but like there was actually a video of you, 2015, finishing second place at a regional.
Sounds about right.
Yes. So you have a lot of tops under your belts.
Well, I've also played a long time. Like my first Konami top took me 4.5 years of competitive play.
Wow,
like just tops in general took me 4.5.
You know, I'm actually kind of in a similar boat. I actually have a ton of tops during the Necros format. That was like, I don't know, when I am one of those kinds of players, like people might not agree with it, but I'm one of those players that enjoy a tier 0 format because it's super defined. You know what you have to do. It actually is easier for me to know because you're no longer relying on luck. You know what your opponent can do. You know what you can do. The biggest difference would be the spicy tech that you use to counter the current meta. Because to play the meta, you have to play better than the meta, so you have to be able to counter it yourself. And that's where I kind of specialize. I think I'm actually the same. I actually also prefer tier 0 formats. People probably don't like that. Oh, there's the thumbs down coming in. But anyways, thank you so much. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.